Shootout with police. A man is in custody after an officer was hurt in Raleigh. The new information we've learned overnight about the suspect who is charged with murder in Garner.
And we're looking at fog beginning to lift across the area. The next thing that we're watching is a front that could bring us a quick line of storms this afternoon. I'll show you when.
Looking to the future, today Carytown leaders are gathering to discuss how to move forward their effort to improve trust as the investigation into the former town manager intensifies. WRAL News at 8 on Fox 50 starts in less than 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Kirsten Clark.
And I'm Ken Smith. Nice day off this morning.
That it is.
A light coat.
Yeah,
we'll take
pretty warm out there.
Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking our forecast.
Dense fog advisory still in effect until around 10 a.m. We had more dense fog this morning, beginning to lift a little bit in some places, but Sanford to Goldsboro up towards South Hill, including the Triangle, as well as Rocky Mount and Wilson, still in that advisory. Visibility is climbed to 3 miles in the Triangle area, but it's still a quarter mile in Roxborough and about a tenth of a mile in South Hill. So those areas up near the Virginia line, you may run into worse conditions. We have a cold front crossing the mountains. There were a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings along that line earlier. As all of this slides eastward, we have a small chance of a quick band of rain and wind that comes through right around lunchtime or so. We'll walk through that on Futurecast coming up. We take a live look at downtown Raleigh from our Jimmy V camera. It's a little breezy, and that's one of the things that helps our fog to dissipate. So some of that wind helping to eliminate the fog as you're heading out. 56 is our current temperature, and we will see a warm day today. Highs will be in the mid-70s, which will likely break a record high for today. What's new this morning is Sunday is trending wetter. We'll check that out. Ken?
Well, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We are seeing those foggy conditions as we take a live look at I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Boy, congestion really beginning to ease on that southern loop of the Beltline. An hour ago, it was bumper to bumper traffic. Right now, you're just looking at a 1 minute delay. Did you see it jump from 2 to 1 minute? So things are getting better in that southern loop of the Beltline. No delays whatsoever if you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County between Highway 36 and the Beltline. If you're navigating I-40 through Wade Avenue, it's delay-free as well. For those of you using I-540 as an alternate route, we're picking up a little bit of a delay around Capitol Boulevard area, but once you get past the Capitol Boulevard exit, it's clear sailing all the way over to I-40 on I-540 this morning. So that's a decent alternate route. We do have first responders working a crash on Atlantic Avenue southbound near New Hope Church Road. Right there in that intersection, we're not seeing any delays in that particular area, but just watch for some police activity if you happen to be navigating that area. Right now, in terms of major routes heading into the Raleigh-Wake County area, just a 3-minute delay if you're coming in from Wake Forest, and just a 1-minute delay if you're coming in from Nidell and I-87 in those southbound lanes. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thank you, Ken. We're staying on top of breaking news this morning. We've learned a lot of new information overnight after Raleigh police say a murder suspect fired at officers. At least one officer was hurt. Ali Kadlabar is at the scene on Woodbin Drive in the WRAL breaking news tracker. Ali, police have now officially charged the man in connection with the deadly shooting in Garner.
Yeah, they have charged him with murder this morning. Within the past 30 minutes, we also saw a bullet hole in the door frame of a unit in the back of this complex. Now, this is all where Raleigh police say that they were serving a warrant to a man when he opened fire. That man we now know is Solomon Owens. Court documents released overnight show Owens shot at 5 Raleigh police officers. He's facing at least 13 charges, including murder and attempted first-degree murder of 2 officers. He's accused of killing a man in Garner February 9th. Raleigh police say officers were serving a warrant for his arrest last night when he opened fire in this apartment complex. James Boyd, a neighbor, tells us this all happened right outside his door. I showed him Owens' mugshot, asking if he knew him. Do you recognize him?
I do not recognize him. Like I said, if he lived here, he kept such a low profile, or he was trying to hide, then he did a really good job of it, because I've never seen him before.
Now, Garner police looked for the suspect who killed Joseph Adams on Timber Drive for 10 days, and they identified Owens as the suspect last night. Police say they are working to find out why Owens shot and killed Adams. We have a lot of questions about both of these incidents here. Of course, we know that that Owens is expected to be in court at 1:30. WRAL will be there. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kathabar, WRAL News.
Thank you, Allie. We will be following new developments in this story throughout the day. Be sure to tune into our evening newscast beginning at 4 p.m. on WRAL.
A suspect is in the murder of a 19-year-old in Wake County yesterday was arrested 500 miles away. 28-year-old Ricardo Maldonado was arrested last night in Troup County, Georgia. That's southwest of Atlanta. Maldonado is accused of killing Jennifer Zolas yesterday morning on Avery Street, just south of Raleigh. Maldonado is charged with first-degree murder in Zola's death.
Today in Durham, Mayor Leonardo Williams will host a news conference to announce an emergency task force. This team is set to deal with the recent violence in Durham. The city wants to emphasize that it is not reacting impulsively, but acting deliberately. The news conference starts at noon, and we'll have updates on the air and on WRAL.com. Durham police made arrests in one of those recent shootings. 18-year-old Donnell Stanford is charged in the death of a Durham juvenile. Stanford is charged with murder, assault, and communicating threats. Police say a 16-year-old also faces charges. This was the scene on Monday near a gas station on South Alston Avenue. The victim was taken to the hospital where he died. Police say more charges and arrests could be coming.
Today, Carytown leaders are meeting for their annual retreat, and looming large over this meeting, former town manager Sean Stiegel, who is now the focus of a State Bureau of Investigation review. WR's Sean Gallagher live outside in Cary this morning. Sean, this retreat will look a little different than others.
Yeah, Ken, in an effort to be more transparent with the community, they're live streaming this 2-day retreat for the first time. It's one of the many steps they're taking to try to rebuild trust with the community after the issues around former town manager Sean Stiegel's departure. Now, we have covered Stiegel's abrupt departure since he resigned in December after he was accused of improper and over-the-top spending and inadequate financial reporting. And now he's the focus of a State Bureau of Investigation review of a 2016 drug investigation where Stiegel's vehicle was at the scene of a suspected drug house, though he was never charged. So while the focus of this retreat will be on transparency and moving the town forward, it's another fracture to the town's foundation that Mayor Harold Weinbrecht is working to fix.
We have lost trust. Trust takes years to build and a second to destroy. And whether it's your fault or not, that trust is gone. And to build trust, you have to have transparency. I want you to see everything we're doing. And this will be the first retreat we've ever streamed.
Now, they'll be going over a lot of high-level issues with the budget, trying to make solutions there, but no decisions will be made over the course of these 2 days. But it does lay the groundwork of what the community can expect over the course of the next year. That meeting expected to take place here in just about 20 minutes. It will be live streamed, but if you can't follow along, it will have a recorded version as well. Live in Cary, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
We're working to learn more about a shooting in Fayetteville. Police were called to this scene last night on School Street. Officers say they found someone with a gunshot wound when they arrived. He was taken to the hospital, and we're trying to get an update on that person's condition. At last check, no word on any arrests.
New video shows the arrest of a man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend, a Fort Bragg soldier. He's charged with 2 counts of murder in Moore County. The Ohio State Patrol shared this video showing the moments troopers took him into custody. Fosnall was extradited to North Carolina from Ohio for his first court appearance yesterday. The defense filed a motion to formally order police and prosecutors to preserve all evidence in this case. Fosnall is accused of murdering 21-year-old Katerina Tofmaj and 28-year-old Matthew Wade in a Moore County home Saturday night.
Tensions are escalating between the U.S. and Iran. President Donald Trump is setting a deadline on a possible peace deal with Iran. This is after the U.S. military said it could be ready to strike Iran as soon as this weekend. Administration leadership reportedly met at the White House to discuss possible military action. President Trump hinted at a regime change in Iran, and he insists Iran must not obtain a nuclear weapon. While speaking to reporters on Air Force One, he said he was extending his timeline for a decision.
We're going to make a deal, or we're going to get a deal one way or the other.
But with a military strike, is it to wipe out their nuclear program?
I'm not going to talk to you about that, but we're either going to get a deal or it's going to be unfortunate for them.
And you said today 10 days. Have you given them a deadline firm to make a deal?
I would think that would be enough time, 10, 15 days, pretty much maximum.
Air and naval assets have been building in the Middle East in recent days. The USS Gerald R. Ford is the second aircraft carrier group headed to the region, and sources say a final decision hasn't been made on whether a strike will happen.
We're entering day 20 in the search for Nancy Guthrie. The mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie was reported missing in Tucson back on February 1st. In the nearly 3-week search, local and federal officials have received thousands of tips. It's believed she was taken from her home. Law enforcement continues to review doorbell video from the night she disappeared and are looking at DNA found at her home. There's more than a $200,000 reward leading to information, and which could lead to an arrest, is squirrel. WRAL continues to follow developments in this case since the beginning. You can find our extensive coverage on WRAL's YouTube page to search Nancy Guthrie. Time now, 8:11. Fuel hike reversed. Court says Duke Energy rate approval violated law. Why impacted customers should not expect a payout.
And a monster weekend ahead. Look at some of the fun events in the Triangle and Out and About.
And we're looking at some cloud cover out there this morning. We have some patchy fog in places. I'll let you know when the fog will lift if you're seeing it where you are, and when we can see some rain later today. $8:15, taking a live look at RDU right now, and you can clearly see Terminal 2. Definitely some cloud cover lingering, but if it was fog, we would have trouble seeing the buildings here in the distance. So starting to see that fog lifting, especially in the Triangle. You might still run into some of it in our northeastern counties. Last check, South Hill and Roxborough, we're seeing visibility down at 1/4 of a mile to 1/10 of a mile, so be careful there. But starting to see some improvement really everywhere else. We're back to a mile visibility in Rocky Mount and 10 and Goldsboro. 1/4 of a mile visibility is what we would expect if we're looking at fog. So here's a look at downtown Raleigh from our Jimmy V camera, and everything looks good. It's a nice warm start out there this morning. 56 in Raleigh, 52 in Wilson, 52 in Rocky Mount, and Fayetteville is sitting at 65 right now. Later today, this cold front will swing through with a quick band of some rain. It's not going to linger, but we'll have a chance of some wind that goes along with it, and we'll have a nice mild day with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Give you a live look at that northern loop of the Beltline, more specifically I-440 and New Bern Avenue. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us. A rather nice steady clip this time of the morning as we widen out the view, though. We're picking up a little bit of a slowdown between Capitol Boulevard and Six Forks Road, so that's why we're looking at a 6-minute delay on that northern loop of the Beltline, but that's not necessarily going to make you late. Coming up, we'll take a look to see if we're seeing any delays on some of the other major routes heading into the Raleigh-Wade County area.
Thank you, Ken. A court says regulators were wrong to approve Duke Energy's nearly $1 billion fuel charge, but customers won't get their money back. The ruling focuses on the fuel costs from 2022 that Duke had not been recovered yet. Regulators approved a rate increase in 2024 to collect that money. Judges ruled that the rate hike should not have been approved under state law at the time, but North Carolina lawmakers have since changed that law. Despite the ruling, the money is staying put, and affected customers we spoke with are frustrated.
It's unfair for the consumers to take on that cost when we're already paying such a huge fee, and a large corporation is quite literally getting rich off of us who are just trying to make it work.
The judges said even if refunds were ordered, the updated statute now allows utilities to recover fuel costs beyond the earlier time limits.
Your time is 8:17 here in the WRAL Live Center. Good morning. I'm Chris Lovingood. Looking at one update not too long ago from NBC News reporting that the Supreme Court could rule regarding President Donald Trump's tariffs that he put into place last year. Now, this would obviously be significant because those tariffs he put in place across different countries in the world. This would mean, potentially, what does it mean in regard to what, we have to pay that money back? What sort of economic impact would that have on America? A lot of economists will be watching that very closely. But again, that decision could be made this morning, as well as opinions explaining why those justices ruled the way they did.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, experts are warning the high prices you pay for beef could become the standard. The price of ground beef last month was up 17% compared to the same time last year. Now, both grocery stores and restaurants are being affected. This is happening as ranchers struggle with a shortage of cattle. That's because of the severe drought conditions. Now, ranchers were also forced to shrink their herds during the COVID-19 pandemic.
A weekend of fun events planned across the Triangle.
Yeah, it's time to take a look at WRAL's Out and About Best Bets.
Well, if you missed Andrea Bocelli's performance at the opening ceremony at the Winter Olympics, don't worry, you have the chance to see him in person. The opera singer will be at Lenovo Center tonight. It's part of his Romanza 30th Anniversary World Tour. The concert is tonight at 8 p.m. and tickets are available online.
And how about this? Happening tomorrow in Durham, the Cupid Undies Run gets underway. It's a fun way to raise awareness and fund groundbreaking research for neurofibrosis. The event starts at noon at Motorcoat Music Hall with a party and the fun run in underwear, by the way, starts at 2 in the afternoon. And monster trucks will be roaring at the Lenovo Center this weekend. Monster Jam is back in town. There are 3 shows, 1 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. Tickets are available right now online. For more information about these weekend best bets, just go to WRAL.com and search Out and About.
Can't get over that Cupid undie run. Well, yesterday's update to the drought monitor showed worsening conditions across the state. Meteorologist Grant Skinner joins us in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Grant, there are now parts of our area under an extreme drought.
That's right. And I was watching the severe drought conditions and how those changed yesterday as well. Now from 68% to 76% of the state seeing a severe drought. And I wanted to kind of break down what this means across our state. I had some questions on Facebook yesterday after I posted the drought monitor. You can see 100% of the state's abnormally dry, 98% under a moderate drought. So that's the majority of the state. 3/4 of the state under a severe drought. That's a good portion of the state as well. Only 5% under an extreme drought. That's showing that trend of with such dry conditions, we're starting to see that transition to pretty serious drought for some spots. And with a severe drought, and that being a pretty big impact to much of the state, looking historically at what changes we see because of the severe drought, dryland crop yields kind of lower overall. Voluntary and mandatory water use restrictions can happen as well, and wildfires also become more difficult to extinguish at that time. You can see this area in red. The extreme drought has expanded to parts of our area, including Rocky Mount, all the way up to Roanoke Rapids. We still need probably between 5 to 7 inches of rain for the majority of our area over a 1-month period. We got some rain this past week in Elizabeth, but we need a lot more rain to really make a dent in this drought.
Yeah, when you show that graphic and how much rain we really need, I think it hits home for people. Yeah. This is not going to be a quick fix. It took us months and months to get to this place with the drought, and it'll take us months to get out of it. So the best we can hope for is more rounds of rain like we'll see this weekend. I know maybe you would wish it wasn't over the weekend, but we definitely need the rain. A live look at North Hills. We can finally see all the buildings here. When we checked in with this camera just about 30 minutes ago, it's still pretty socked in with the fog. So definitely seeing some improving conditions out there now. 56 is our temperature around the Triangle area. We still have the dense fog advisory in effect until 10, so it's still about another hour and a half. But nice to see some improvement. We're still seeing quarter-mile visibility, which is likely to be fog up around Roxborough and South Hill. What's new this morning is Sunday is trending wetter. We're watching a low that will develop offshore. That looks like it's going to bring us a lot more rain for Sunday than it looked like yesterday. Record warmth this afternoon with a few isolated thunderstorms and then some cooler temperatures behind the front for the weekend. Here's the front right now. Those yellow boxes that flashed up there were severe thunderstorm warnings. As the front continues to slide eastward right around lunchtime, we'll probably have a very narrow band of rain that comes through with a quick windy conditions with that. And then maybe a little bit of clearing this evening. And then we're kind of right back at it on Saturday. There's 7 a.m. right around lunchtime. We're going to have some waves of rain. And then in the afternoon, a lot of it shifts south and east. So it's not going to rain all day Saturday, but we'll see waves of rain. Now, Sunday's looking pretty wet. There's 6 a.m. Notice there again at noon, another wave of rain comes through. And a lot of that may just continue to wrap around as we get into Sunday evening. So looking pretty wet for us. Most likely we'll end up with about 3/4 to an inch of rain. That's around what we saw last Sunday. Temperatures, of course, nice and warm today. That 76 will break the record high for today, but it looks awfully chilly for the early part of next week, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now. We're following a real trouble spot on I-85 there in Orange County. It's right near the I-40, I-85 split. And you can see the huge delays it's causing all the way back to Mebane. So if you have some family members or friends coming in on I-40, I-85 right now, you might want to tell them to take a Mebane exit and get off on Highway 70 and come into town, because that looks like it's going to be that way for a little while longer. Right now, here's a live look at I-440 and New Bern Avenue. This is indicative of what we're seeing on many of our major routes. Traffic is flowing at a nice steady clip at this hour. Coming up, more news, weather, and traffic after the break.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
It is 8:26. No more than a light jacket needed as you head out the door this morning. Here's meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with your forecast.
I'm tracking this cold front that's bringing some rain to the mountains right now. It's likely to arrive here around the middle of the day. The amount of rain that we see with this is going to be minimal. There have been a few isolated severe thunderstorm warnings back across the mountains, but we're going to see a very narrow band of rain and wind that rolls in with this right around the middle of the day. So we're looking at just a 40% chance today. Saturday, we'll see rain on and off, and Sunday is trending wetter than it was yesterday. It could almost be a washout for us on Sunday, Ken.
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We'll take you to Orange County, more specifically the I-85, I-40 split there in Orange County. We're told that this crash is blocking at least 2 or 3 lanes. You can see the huge delays it's causing almost all the way back to Mebane. So if you got family or friends coming in on I-85, I-40 this morning, you might want to tell them to take the Mebane exit, get over to Highway 70 as an alternate route, and work your way back into town. Coming up, we'll take a look at any delays we're seeing on some other major routes heading into the Triangle area.
The suspect in a police shootout is due in court today. Solomon Owens is accused of shooting at 5 Raleigh police officers last night on Woodbine Drive. Officers were attempting to arrest him in connection with a deadly shooting in Garner last week. 2 people are hurt this morning after a chase and crash in Moore County. The WRAL breaking news tracker was at the scene this morning just outside of Foxfire. Officials say the chase started in Montgomery County and lasted about 20 miles. Both people were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Next on Fox 50, the Cary Town Council meeting is today as the former town manager remains under investigation. And coming up today, checking in with Seth Meyers at the Winter Olympics in Milan.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And that breaking news is about officers hurt in Raleigh. A man is in custody after a shootout with police. What we're learning from court documents about the suspect.
And the fog is beginning to lift in some places. We're still left with a lot of cloud cover and a chance of rain around the middle of the day. I'll walk you through it.
And Cary Town Trust. Today, town leaders are looking at how to move forward as the investigation into their former town manager intensifies. All right. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Kirsten Clark.
And I'm Ken Smith. We had some foggy conditions this morning, but it's dissipated, which is good. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking it all for us.
We do still have the advisory in effect for another 2 hours, hour and a half. It's 8:30 right now. But we're definitely seeing improving conditions, especially around the Triangle. Still in some low-lying or rural areas, you could run into some patchy fog. The quarter-mile visibility in South Hill, half a mile in Roxborough. So I think mainly up near the Virginia line is where you'd likely they run across it. We have a cold front that's crossing the mountains right now, and it did cause a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. As that moves eastward, it's going to lose a lot of energy and a lot of its rain. So we're going to see just a narrow band of rain and wind that comes in right around lunchtime. We'll walk through Futurecast and show you that coming up. It's a nice mild start this morning. A lot of people out and about as we take a look from our Jimmy V camera down Fayetteville Street. It's 57 degrees. Our wind right now is northerly, but for the most part, we'll continue our southerly flow today, which brings our temperature to 76, which would end up breaking our previous record. New this morning, Sunday is looking a lot wetter. I'll show you what that means for your weekend. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We're monitoring this situation in Orange County. This crash that appears to have cleared up just a little while ago, but we're still seeing a little while ago. I said maybe in the last 5 minutes. It's happened right here on I-85 near the I-40 interchange there in Orange County. You can still see the lingering delays all the way back to Mebane. So, if you have family and friends coming in and maybe they're in a rush, you might want to tell them to get off on the Mebane exit and work their way on Highway 70 into town. Back here in Raleigh, here's a live look at I-440 and New Bern Avenue. The westbound lanes moving away from us at a nice steady clip this morning. So as we widen out the view from I-887 440 split, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown just around the Glenwood Avenue interchange. But right now, you're just looking at a 1 minute delay on that northern loop. As for that southern loop, boy, things are looking good. Check this out. Y-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning, and no delays. If you're navigating I-40 westbound, you're coming in from Garner-Johnston County, you will get to your destination right on time. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. New developments overnight after Raleigh police say a murder suspect shot at officers serving an arrest warrant. At least one officer was hurt. Ali Kadlabar is on Woodbine Drive in the WRAL breaking news tracker. Ali, court documents are revealing a lot of new information about how this all transpired.
Yeah, and what we're seeing this morning is all of these tire tread marks here in the back of this complex. This is where we saw officers investigating for several hours throughout the morning. You can even see police tape. And now this apartment building right here, that door you're seeing, that is where officers were on their way to serve a warrant for a man's arrest when he opened fire. Now, this is Solomon Owens. Court documents released overnight show Owens shot at 5 Raleigh police officers. He's facing at least 13 charges, including murder and attempted first-degree murder of 2 officers. He's accused of killing a man in Garner February 9th. Raleigh police say officers were serving a warrant for his arrest last night when he opened fire in this apartment complex. James Boyd, a neighbor, tells us that he saw a green laser come through his window. That's when shots were fired.
I kind of walked to the door, and once that, everything broke loose. I saw 4 SWAT officers engaged in shooting right down that hallway there. I heard returning fire.
Garner police looked for the suspect who killed Joseph Adams on Timber Drive for 10 days. They identified Owens as the suspect last night, and Garner police say they are working to find out why Owens killed Adams. Now, we have a lot of questions about both of these incidents. We are following this throughout the morning, and we know that Owens is set to be in court at 1:30. WRAL will be there. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Joey Adams' family released a statement following Owens' arrest, saying, in part, "Our family would like to express our deepest gratitude to the Garner Police Department and the Raleigh Police Department for their hard work, courage, and dedication in apprehending the individual responsible and helping bring us a sense of closure during this unimaginable time." WRAL will be following new developments in this story throughout the day. Be sure to tune in to our evening newscast beginning at 4 p.m.
A suspect in the murder of a 19-year-old in Ray County yesterday was arrested nearly 500 miles away. 28-year-old Ricardo Maldonado was arrested last night in Troup County, Georgia. That's about southwest of Atlanta. Maldonado is accused of killing Jennifer Zolas yesterday morning on Avery Street, that is south of Raleigh. Maldonado is charged with first-degree murder in Zolas' death.
We're working to learn more this morning about a person under 18 who was stabbed in Raleigh. The WRAL breaking news tracker saw more than a dozen police cars on North Raleigh Boulevard around 7:30 last night. The male victim was stabbed in the leg. He is expected to be okay, and a suspect who is also under 18 is in custody. No names have been released.
Today, Cary town leaders are meeting for their annual retreat, and looming large over that meeting, former town manager Sean Stiegel, who is now the focus of a State Bureau of Investigation review. WRAL Sean Gallagher live in Cary this morning. And Sean, town leaders are taking a new approach to this retreat this year.
Yeah, the town of Cary is going to be live streaming the two-day retreat as an effort to be more transparent with the community. And it actually just started moments ago. I actually said hello to Mayor Harold Weinbrecht as he walked in there as they get this underway. This effort to try to be more transparent comes amid the controversy with the former town manager, Sean Stiegel. We've covered Stiegel's abrupt departure since he resigned in December after he was accused of improper, over-the-top spending and inadequate financial reporting. And now the focus of a State Bureau of Investigation review of a 2016 drug investigation where Stiegel's vehicle was at the scene of a suspected drug house, though he was never charged there. So while the focus of this retreat is about moving the town forward, it's another fracture to the town's foundation that Mayor Weinbrecht is trying to rebuild.
We've been working a lot with things that have happened in the past, and it's time for us to move forward, especially when we're talking about budget. We're going to have a wide open budget process this year. We want to involve the residents.
And the retreat just started moments ago. I can see on my laptop in the car right now that it is currently live streaming, so you can tune in. But if you can't follow along live, the town of Cary is providing a recorded version on their website as well. Live in Cary, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
Happening today in Durham, Mayor Leonardo Williams is hosting a news conference to announce an emergency task force. This team is set to deal with recent violence. The city wants to emphasize that it is not reacting impulsively, but acting deliberately. That news conference starts at noon today, and we'll have updates on the air and on WRAL.com. This is all happening as Durham police say crime is down. The police department released its annual crime report yesterday. In it, they say from 2024 to 2025, crime went down 17%. They also noted police cleared almost 90% of homicides last year.
We are here for the moment. And so our investigators are committed to ensuring that every investigation is handled in a dignified manner, one by which we will bring people to justice.
Another improvement at the Durham Police Department is staffing. At its lowest in 2020, the department was only about 70% staffed.
New this morning, a man was arrested in downtown Raleigh overnight for communicating threats. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker at around 11 o'clock last night at Morgan and Blunt Streets. Police say charges are linked to a domestic dispute.
This morning, a Cary firefighter is facing child sex charges. Mark Susi appeared in court on Thursday. Police arrested the 59-year-old in connection with the child exploitation investigation. He's charged with 2 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. The charges are connected to an incident from last October.
We're now entering day 20 in the search for Nancy Guthrie. She was reported missing back on February 1st. It's believed she was taken from her home. Law enforcement is reviewing doorbell video from the night she disappeared. They're also looking into DNA found at her home. There's more than a $200,000 reward being offered for information leading to arrest or finding Nancy's. That reward has led to a surge in tips. Those have overwhelmed the 911 call center there in Pima County, Arizona.
If you're thinking about calling in a tip or lead, or if you have specific information regarding the case, I ask that you stop and take a moment and think, is this tip viable? Is it credible?
In the nearly 3-week search, local and federal officials have received thousands of tips. WRAL will continue to follow the search for Nancy Guthrie. You can do so on the WRAL YouTube channel. Just search Nancy Guthrie.
Coming up, remembering Eric Dane, the beloved actor from Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria, died at age 53. What he shared about his battle with ALS.
Also, getting the gold. Team USA's women earned 2 big medals yesterday, the wins in figure skating and hockey.
And it's feeling warmer and looking cloudy today. This is a live look over Pinehurst as the fog finally lifts there. After the break, meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner times out thunderstorm chances for today.
Still just a little over an hour with our dense fog advisory, but especially from the Triangle area southward, we've seen some nice improvement. Still a lot of cloud cover out there, but definitely some fog potential around Roxborough, Warrenton, up towards South Hill. Roxborough's at half a mile visibility, South Hill at a quarter of a mile. Everybody else is 3 to 5 or higher, so that's a good thing. So in Pittsburgh, yes, we're seeing clouds, but no fog, and our temperatures are nice and mild as you're stepping out the door. Fayetteville has been one of our warmest spots this morning at 65, along with Southern Pines at 66, and then 42 in Roanoke Rapids, but 57 in Durham, 55 in Wilson and Rocky Mount. Goldsboro sitting at 64. So it's a warm morning out there. Following a band of rain that will move through right around or just before lunchtime. That's going to bring us a chance of some rain briefly, but windy conditions along with it. And then after that, we're looking at some nice mild temperatures this afternoon. Saturday, showers on and off, but Sunday is trending a lot wetter. We'll walk through that coming up, Kid.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. That crash we've been monitoring there in Orange County. Boy, it happened right here, not far from the I-85, I-40 interchange. It cleared, but we're still seeing some lingering delays in this area, stretching all the way back to Mebane. So if you got some family and friends coming in this morning on I-85, I-40 eastbound, you might want to tell them to take a Mebane exit and get over the Highway 70 and work their way back into the Triangle. Coming up, we'll take a look at some delays on other routes coming into the Triangle.
Thank you, Ken. Turning now to the UK, where British police confirmed former Prince Andrew was released under investigation 12 hours after his arrest. He hasn't been charged or exonerated. He was arrested yesterday on suspicion of misconduct in a public office. It's connected to his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. King Charles III addressed his brother's arrest. The king says there must be a, quote, full, fair, and proper investigation. The former prince has denied any wrongdoing in connection to his affiliation with Epstein and said he regrets the friendship. Escalating tensions between the United States and Iran, President Donald Trump is setting a deadline on a possible peace deal with Iran. This is after the U.S. military said it could be ready to strike Iran as soon as this weekend. Top administration officials reportedly met at the White House to discuss possible military action. President Trump has hinted at a regime change in Iran and insists that the country must not obtain a nuclear weapon. At his board of peace meeting, yesterday, the president said it has been difficult to make progress with Iran.
Iran is a hot spot right now, and they're meeting, and they have a good relationship with the representatives of Iran, and, good talks are being had. It's proven to be, over the years, not easy to make a meaningful deal with Iran. We have to make a meaningful deal, otherwise bad things happen.
Air and naval assets have been building in the Middle East in recent days. The USS Gerald R. Ford is the second aircraft carrier group headed to the region. Sources say a final decision on whether a strike will take place has not happened.
This morning, Hollywood is mourning the loss of actor Eric Dane. He was just 53 years old. Dane's publicist announcing the news in a statement last night. He says Dane died after battling with ALS. The statement says the actor spent his final days surrounded by family and friends. Dane was best known for his roles on Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria. It was just less than a year ago he announced he was battling ALS.
Job hunters. Publix is looking to fill roles at its new Durham location. Starting today, they will have a hiring event as they get closer to the grand opening of the new location at Lotta Park. The hope is to fill more than 140 positions across all in-store departments. Interested applicants can swing by the Hilton Durham starting today. That event is all weekend from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Well, here's what we're watching in today's Winter Games. Today, Team USA's men will play in the hockey semifinals against Slovakia. Now, if they win, they'll likely play Canada in the finals Sunday. The USA women's curling team will play Switzerland in their semifinal today as well. And medals will be awarded in events including freestyle skiing and speed skating.
American figure skater Alyssa Liu earned a gold medal in women's individual figure skating. Liu is the first member of Team USA to win a gold in this event since the 2002 Games. Wow, what an accomplishment. She retired from skating at 16, but came back to win the World Championships last year before this moment in Milan.
Oh, way to go. Well, the U.S. women's hockey team won gold after a hard-fought overtime battle with Canada. This game was amazing. Canada was in the lead 1-0 until the last 2 minutes of regulation. Team captain Hilary Knight making history with her 15th Olympic gold, tying the game 2 minutes left in that third quarter. Well, the game ended after 4 minutes of overtime with scoring by Megan Keller. It's just the third time in Olympic history Team USA has been crowned champions in the women's hockey. All 3 times it was a final game against Canada.
Wow, what a game. And here's a look at the medals awarded so far. Norway is still in first, now with 34 medals. Team USA is now second with a total of 27 medals. Italy in third with 26 medals. And Japan and Germany round out the top 5.
And of course, the closing ceremony is on Sunday, and a historic venue in Verona is preparing to host it. The ceremony will be inside the Arena de Verona, which has stood for nearly 2,000 years. You can watch the ceremony live on WRAL Sunday afternoon starting at 2:30 in the afternoon. An encore presentation will start at 9 p.m.
Well, people here in the Triangle are getting in the Winter Olympic spirit. Of course they are. Well, time for a look now at what's trending.
Yeah, we're talking about our friends over at Mix 101.5. Kyle, Brian, and Sarah participating in a curling showdown with some lucky listeners. This was at the Triangle Curling Club in Durham. The stakes, gold medal bragging rights. How about that?
Wow, all 4 teams competed very well, but at the end of the day, it looks like Megan's team took the gold. They were the winners there.
That's huge. And, a few years ago, Elizabeth Gardner took part in this event as well. There she is, along with the Mix 101 team. And Elizabeth, good memories from that day.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. Yeah, Brian, Sarah, and Kyle, it just could not be more fun. It's really great to do these things and watch this. Woo!
Look at that form.
Face plant on the ice.
Oh, I love it.
There's a learning curve to that, definitely. But so much fun over there at Triangle Curling. It's over in Durham, and anybody can go and learn how to do it. It's neat that we have that right here. We're looking downtown right now at Fayetteville Street. Notice the flags here, if you can see them. They're really starting to whip around. And as our wind picks up ahead of our cold front, all that fog is dissipating. Now, we'll still be dealing with some cloud cover, but if the wind begins to blow and stir up the atmosphere, it typically takes care of the fog. You might still run into some of that up near the Virginia line. And our advisory is still in effect for another hour or so, but definitely seeing some improvement in the Triangle as well as Rocky Mount. But again, Roxborough and South Hill, you may still see some patchy fog out there. This is a look at our next weather maker. We've got this cold front that's headed our way. This system came through the Midwest. Notice the red shaded areas at the beginning of that loop. There in Indiana, we had tornadoes that did a lot of damage just yesterday, and as many as 12 to 15 buildings were damaged with that as it came through. And you can see as this moves eastward, we ended up with a few more severe thunderstorms in West Virginia and along the mountains of North Carolina. Let's take a look at when this front arrives here. It's not going to be a big deal for us. We're not going to see that same severe weather that they did back there across Indiana. But at around 10 or 11, we start to see the rain moving in. Right around lunchtime, it comes swinging through. You'll likely have just a very brief period, maybe 30 minutes or less, where it's rainy and windy, and then we're done with it. And we may actually see skies clearing behind it. But we'll start to see more rain back into the area on Saturday, and Sunday is trending a lot wetter than it did yesterday. It's nice and mild out there, even though the wind started to pick up. There are a few people on the golf course there, Pinehurst Resort and Country Club. It's a comfortable 57 degrees right now, and we'll see highs this afternoon. Look at 76 in Raleigh. That would break the previous record of 75. Today will be the warmest day by far. You'll really notice a difference on Sunday. It's going to be pretty chilly and wet, similar to what we saw last Sunday. And then it's just cold. Overnight lows are down near freezing for parts of next week. So just be prepared for that.
Elizabeth, thank you. Before we go to break, here are the winning lottery numbers, and we'll get another check on weather and traffic next.